It's Friday, December 18th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network, bringing you today's headlines, sports, and weather with Rob Adams and Donald Eng taking a look back on this day in history. We also have a special guest today, our own Patty Gay, who's going to get a little stir-crazy with us, showing us her favorite holiday recipes and traditions. But first, on to today's news. Police from several departments joined bail enforcement agents Thursday night into Friday as they sought a wanted Danbury man. Fairfield police say bounty hunters received information that 22-year-old Javon Peggies of Old Mill Road in Danbury was with a girlfriend in the parking lot at Jennings Beach in Fairfield shortly before 8 Thursday night. There were several warrants for the arrest of Peggies for failure to appear in court. Bail agents told police he was very muscular, very fast, and had a history of resisting and running from police. Multiple Fairfield police units and 5 bail enforcement agents made their way to Jennings Beach, setting up in the parking lot and surrounding streets. A bail enforcement agent contacted Peggies. He fled toward Craig Street, and police said a scuffle with bail agents ensued in backyards, with the fugitive's shirt torn and his shoes ripped off. A search of the area continued, but even with the help of police dogs, they were unable to find him. Around 10 o'clock last night, police in Fairfield called off the search. But shortly before 7 this morning, Fairfield police learned that Peggies was captured at his brother's house in Danbury overnight. Fairfield police said investigators believe he was driven there by his girlfriend, who had misled police about him being in the house. And in other news, a man from Pleasantville, New Jersey was arrested by Shelton police for attacking a man with a baseball bat on Bridgeport Avenue Thursday morning. Police said that the attack was related to a domestic dispute and that the victim, who was not identified, was hospitalized with injuries that weren't life-threatening. Shelton Police Detective Richard Bango said dispatchers received a number of 911 calls at about 9 in the morning yesterday when witnesses said a man was beating another man with a baseball bat in the parking lot of the Hyatt House Hotel. Cops converged on the scene and found the victim lying on the pavement bleeding from blunt trauma injuries. A woman on the scene told police that her husband, Chadwick Adams, was responsible for the assault, and she described the vehicle that he was driving, which was a gold Mercury Marquise. The investigation revealed that Adams had followed his wife from New Jersey to Shelton, where he confronted her regarding an ongoing dispute. An argument ensued between Adams and the man accompanying his wife, culminating with the assault. Adams' wife was not hurt in the scuffle, police said. It wasn't long before state police captured Adams, who was headed south on the Merritt Parkway. He was taken into custody and charged with first-degree assault, carrying a dangerous weapon, reckless endangerment, and fourth-degree criminal mischief. He was held on a $100,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in court in Derby on Friday. Florida Atlantic University has taken steps to fire a professor who claimed the massacre of children in Newtown was staged. The Associated Press reports that the school said in a release on its website that School of Communication and Multimedia Studies Professor James Tracy was served a notice of termination Wednesday. The university said Tracy has 10 days to respond. Although the school gave no reason for the action, the parents of one student killed at Sandy Hook recently claimed in a Florida newspaper opinion piece that Tracy was taunting them. Tracy was reprimanded in 2013 for writing in his blog that the Sandy Hook killing was staged, and he has questioned accounts of other mass slayings. Tracy declined comment in an email Thursday. And in Trumbull, a Monroe woman was arrested for getting in a drunk driving accident with her child in the car. On Tuesday, December 8th, police said that 43-year-old Brandy Pearson got into a head-on collision while her 8-year-old son was in the front seat. According to a report, Pearson's vehicle was headed the wrong way down the road onto oncoming northbound traffic after it had turned at a stoplight near the Bowtie Cinemas movie theater. Although there were no critical injuries from the crash, the report said that there was extensive damage to Pearson's vehicle and another vehicle, both of which had to be towed. At the scene, Pearson could not explain what caused the accident. Police smelled a strong odor of alcohol on her breath. She admitted to drinking 3 glasses of wine. Police said she couldn't produce insurance and had significantly slurred speech. She failed 3 sobriety tests at the scene of the accident and was brought to the department's headquarters, where she was released on a $1,500 bond. She was scheduled to appear in court Wednesday, December 16th. The son was picked up at the scene of the accident by his father. And with a guilty plea by former Newtown police sergeant reported to be at the head of an international steroid manufacturing and distribution ring, federal authorities are closing in on the individuals charged with being part of that ring. The ringleader, 39-year-old Stephen Santucci of Waterbury, pleaded guilty December 9th to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute anabolic steroids and 1 count of conspiracy to launder monetary instruments. That, according to Deirdre Daly, the United States Attorney for the District of Connecticut. Santucci, the former Newtown police sergeant, made his plea in Hartford federal court. He faces a maximum prison term of 30 years. 12 individuals, including Police Commissioner Raymond Martin of Easton, was charged as a result of the long-term investigation led by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. According to the Easton Courier, Martin was charged July 14th. As alleged in the criminal complaint, a court-authorized wiretap intercepted Martin engaging in text communications with other members of the conspiracy, discussing the distribution of anabolic steroids and oxycodone. The complaint charged Martin with conspiracy to possess oxycodone with intent to distribute, an offense that carries a maximum term in prison of 20 years. Of the 11 individuals previously charged in the 12-count superseding indictment, Santucci and 3 others so far have pleaded guilty. Going to switch gears and throw it over to Rob Adams now for a look at today's weather. Rob?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. We have made it, and 7 days remaining until Christmas. All right, we dive into the weather. Light rain likely, mainly before 2 this afternoon. Mostly cloudy, high near 49 with a north wind from 6 to 9, and the chance of precipitation at 60%. Tonight, partly cloudy. We're going to get cold. Low 29, wind chill values between 20 and 25, so bundle up with the wind out of the north from 7 to 10. Saturday, mostly sunny, high 39, wind chills between 20 and 30. Wind a little stronger out of the west from 11 to 14, and we'll get even a little stronger on Saturday night as we drop down to 23, wind chill values between 15 and 20, and the wind out of the west from 10 to 15. Sunday, sunny and 42, partly sunny and 52, though, on Monday. As we start glancing ahead, I can take you all the way to Christmas Eve, and I'll give you this. A chance of showers for Christmas Eve, high 60. Ridgefield has 42, Darien has 46, Shelton has 44 degrees, Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Rob. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Donald Dang's going to give us a look back on this day in history. Rob brings us the latest sports, and we have some more news coming up on your coffee break after this.
Had a sports injury that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist quickly. Their highly trained orthopedic professionals expertly treat you without an appointment. Skiing, snowboard, or sports accident, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk. Call 203-845-2070 or coastalorthoexpress.com. Find them on Facebook at Coastal Ortho CT.
Discover the Wilburton Inn in Manchester, Vermont, a 30-acre historic estate featuring a turn-of-the-century mansion with elegant inn guest rooms and 7 large private vacation homes, perfect for ski vacations and holiday celebrations. Special offer on select rooms and houses. Stay 2 nights, get the 3rd night free through Christmas Day. CNN has called the Wilburton one of the top 8 mansion hotels in America. Call 802-362-2500 or visit wilburtoninn.com for more information.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your local destination for the best of the holidays. Shop Stewart's for the freshest produce, certified prime rib roasts, magnolia wreaths, fresh baked pies, gingerbread houses, Christmas candies, and the season's best wine and craft brews right next door at Stewart's Spirits. Shop Walter Stewart's, 229 Elm Street in New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Dang, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network.
And we're back on this Friday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski. Time to throw it over to Donald Eng for a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, we had the debut of what would become a Christmas tradition 60 years later. But first we go to 1865. Secretary of State William Seward proclaims the adoption of the 13th Amendment, which prohibited slavery in the United States. Though many slaves had been freed by President Abraham Lincoln's 1863 Emancipation Proclamation, their post-war status was ambiguous. The House actually passed the bill on January 31st. The measure was swiftly ratified by nearly all the northern states, along with enough border and reconstructed states to cause it to be adopted on this day, 1865. We go now to 1898. Gaston de Chasseloup-Laubat sets the official land speed record, the first official land speed record, at 39.2 mile per hour for a flying kilometer in the Jean Todt electric car. Looking at the car, you might think that driving it at the limits of its performance was not a recipe for a long life, and unfortunately, you would be right about that. 1912, Piltdown Man, later discovered to be a hoax, is announced by Charles Dawson. The significance of the specimen remained the subject of controversy till it was exposed in 1953 as a forgery consisting of the lower jawbone of an orangutan deliberately combined with the cranium of a modern human. The Piltdown hoax is perhaps the most famous paleoanthropological hoax ever. It's prominent for two reasons. One, the attention paid to the issue of human evolution, and also the 40 years that elapsed from the discovery to its exposure as a fraud. And finally, we go to St. Petersburg, Russia, 1892, for this. That, of course, is Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker. That was the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. Debuting in 1892 on this day, it would become an annual Christmas tradition in the United States about 60 years later, 1954, when it became an annual tradition to perform the Nutcracker in its entirety at Christmas time. That is your look back in history, and I am Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, getting back to a little more news today. Terrorism concerns has led to the cancellation of German and Chinese exchange trips planned for Ridgefield High School world language students. And this has upset some parents and students. A middle school trip to Spain has also been called off by the school district. According to Superintendent Karen Baldwin, in light of recent international terrorist actions and the unsettled political climate throughout Europe and beyond, we have decided it is in the best interest of all to cancel the China and Germany trips scheduled for this spring. Parent Lisa Thompson, whose son was signed up for the China trip, said it was wrong on so many levels that parents weren't consulted and that they didn't ask for any input. You can read more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And of course, we've been talking about similar situations in a lot of our area towns. But time to throw it over to Rob Adams now for a look at local sports. Rob.
Thanks, Kate. Overall, a fairly light night. Again, this is kind of the final stretch before really everything gets underway. And in fact, I'll explain how things will get underway on Monday. You'll get a better sense as we move along. But we'll start in girls basketball, where Staples knocked off New Canaan 38-25. The 2-0 Wreckers were led by Talia Hendel's 13 points, while Olivia Troy also hit double digits with 10. The Rams dropped to 0-2 on the young season, and they were led by Kylie Murphy with 7 points. Hutchinson writes in the Trumbull Times, the St. Joseph High girls basketball team bounced back from Tuesday's season-opening loss to Pomperog on Thursday night. The Cadets applied what they learned in defeat for a turnaround effort en route to defeating Newtown 48-33. The Cadets received 13 points each from Jackie Josephic and Megan Robertson. Pomperog beat Danbury on the other side 59-39. In girls hockey, from J.B. Cousins in the Wilton Bulletin, Brooke Johnson made 47 saves for Wilton, but it wasn't enough. Jen Kelly of Greenwich scored with 58 seconds remaining to give the Cardinals a 3-2 win over the Warriors at the Dorothy Hamill rink. On to wrestling 2 days after rallying for a tight win over Arlington in the Section 1 Duels Championship match. The John Jay of New York wrestling team had an easier time against the Admirals on Thursday with a 39-24 win at Arlington. By the way, they are already 17 matches into the season. The Indians are 15-2. Just saying, while Connecticut has just started the season. The Indians bounced back from only their second loss of the season on Wednesday to Fairfield Ward right out here in Connecticut. On the schedule, there's a special relay taking place this weekend in swimming. It's the Norwalk Swimming Relays. That'll take place tomorrow with half of the FCAC, including West Hill, Darien, Danbury, and the host Norwalk Bears taking part, as well as some non-FCAC invitees, including Massac Bethel and Joel Barlow. On the schedule today, it's Wilton at New Milford in girls basketball, Staples home for Bethel, and New Fairfield is at Trumbull. While in girls ice hockey, just one game, Ridgefield at Trumbull. Next week, though, a couple more games, in girls ice hockey, Brantford at Stamford and Greenwich at Northwest Catholic, so to round out that schedule. Now to next Monday as things kind of explode and we're off and running before Christmas. We have a boys hockey doubleheader Monday afternoon on the HAN network. We'll be at the Edward L. Bennett Rink in West Haven as Staples West and Shelton meets Amity at 4 and New Canaan visits Notre Dame of West Haven. All the action can be seen right here at live.han.network. So it gives you an idea. Everything really gets going on Monday. There are a bunch of great matchups. Ridgefield, Fairfield Prep among them in boys hockey, girls hockey now in full swing. So much to do, and of course we'll cover it all on Nutmeg Sports Monday at 2 o'clock. But that's it for sports for now. I don't want to keep from getting to all the goodies coming up. Kate, back over to you.
That's right, Rob. There are some goodies coming up, but first we're getting back to some more news. The U.S. Department of Labor has reached a settlement agreement with Forever 21 Retail, Inc., in which the fashion retailer commits to eliminate safety hazards at its West Farms Mall store in Farmington and pay $100,000 in penalties to the department's Occupational Safety and Health Administration. According to Hearst, Connecticut media, OSHA cited Forever 21 in May after an inspection of the Farmington store found boxes piled as high as 10 feet and stacked in an unstable manner, so they blocked exit routes or could fall onto workers. The company contested its citations and penalties initially, but has now reached an agreement with the department to abate the cited hazards and comply with the OSHA standards. And for the first time on record, an estimated 100.5 million Americans, nearly 1 in 3 people, will travel more than 50 miles over the 12 days of the upcoming Christmas holiday. The record number represents a 1.4% increase over the last year and is the 7th consecutive year of year-end holiday growth for travel between December 23rd and January 3rd. Of the overall 100.5 million travelers, nearly 91% plan to travel by car, 5.7% plan to fly, and the remaining 3.4% will take some other mode of transportation, including one traveler, according to AAA, who plans to make a round-the-world journey by sleigh on late December 24th. Increases in travel from New England are expected to outpace the national increases, AAA says. More than 4.3 million New Englanders are expected to travel, up 2.2% over last year. More than 3.8 million are expected to drive to their destinations, 2.4% more than 2014. So what's filling everyone's travel stockings this year? Rising incomes, lower gas prices, higher employment, and low crude oil prices are prompting a record number to spend savings on trips. And in New Canaan, at the Police Commission meeting held Wednesday night, December 15th, the pop-up park, last held in 2014 at the intersection of Elm and South Avenue, was proposed to return to that location for a 3-week run, August 5th through August 28th. The commission members okayed the dates pending approval of the New Canaan Special Events Committee. There was concern that other town events not be held on the same dates when the pop-up park will be up and running. A town citizen, Martin Skralunas, representing the group seeking to revive the park, said that First Selectman Rob Malazzi was on board with the 2016 pop-up park and pledged to support its taking place. Skralunas told the commission that many meetings were held regarding a possible renewal of the pop-up park and that few merchants attended or expressed reservations going forward. The pop-up park was not held in 2015 after some merchants complained that it hurt their business. And in Stratford, the family of Victoria Soto, one of the teachers killed in the Sandy Hook school shooting, recently asked if students from Stratford Academy Victoria Soto School could make ornaments to decorate Vicky's trees at the Vicky Soto playground. Kindergarten teacher Pam D'Angelo and first grade teacher Mary Beth Petrella organized the tree decorating event after school on Wednesday, December 9th as a special act of kindness for any student who was able to participate. Jillian and Carly Soto also joined. More than 200 student-made ornaments were hung on the 3 Vicky Soto Christmas trees at her playground. A wooden sign on each tree made up the saying, "Live, laugh, love." Students hung ornaments and also took time to run around and have fun on the playground. But that's going to do it for this portion of Coffee Break. When we come back, as we mentioned earlier, our own Patty Gay is going to join us. We're going to be talking about holiday treats and traditions. We're so excited to have her. So keep watching. We'll be back with that after this.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name.
Josh, are you still over there?
It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well.
That's all right. I'm just
Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
In Pound Ridge since
Patty, you can come around
1993,
this way.
the Wine Connection is one of America's
And I'll hook
best
you up.
wine shops. Visit our beautiful store for the greatest in wine and knowledgeable service.
Some of the
With
Christmas-
wonderful values from around the world
the
to
Santa
collectibles
and the
for your
snowman,
cellar,
I imagine,
we are
yes.
your
Do you want the
one-stop
boxes too?
source. Visit
Yes,
our
okay.
online shop at wineconn.com and make sure to sign up for email updates. With great offers, new arrivals, and special events, don't miss
like
all
that
the
box.
action at the Wine Connection, including tastings every weekend. The Wine Connection, located at 32 Westchester
No, I think we're
Avenue,
skipping the tea,
Pound
right?
Ridge, New
We're
York.
skipping the tea, but the mugs could go near the big ones, I suppose.
Yeah, it's gonna be decoration
Right, they're the
anyways.
same decoration.
Yeah, it looks great.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And remember, Patty, if you need the champagne, the beef jerky, the gifts, they're down. I have them down here.
1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
We're gonna see how it goes. If Eric thinks it's going too long and he signals me, if not, I'll just duck down and do it. It's not gonna be a big deal. Okay, Eric, if you think there needs to be a break, can you just? Eric, come here. Let me help you. This is. You just want to make sure.
I'm
you
John
move around
Kovach.
and You're not stepping on the cord.
I'm a newspaper editor.
Good. Can you
I'm
move
a high
a little
school
bit? It's not
football
pulling.
coach.
Okay, great.
I'm a television
Great.
presenter, and I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
What's that? Oh, Mike's are
Healthy,
still on.
confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics.
Sorry, we didn't-
Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network.
Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
This fall for our red panda. That's right, Rashawn the red panda will be visiting the Beardsley Zoo for a limited time. Resembling raccoons, red pandas primarily eat bamboo, but will occasionally eat fruits, berries, young leaves, and certain tree bark, like their better-known black and white cousins. As an adult, Rashawn is expected to weigh 10 to 12 pounds, and you can see him at the South American Rainforest exhibit, Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo of Bridgeport. A whole new experience. 875 Noble Avenue, Bridgeport. 203-394-6565.
And we're back on this Friday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and what goes better with coffee than cookies? And our own Patty Gay, who is our Weston Forum editor, and when we were HAN Radio, did a great audio-only show, Stir Crazy. We're happy to welcome her to help us get in the Christmas spirit now, talk about some recipes, some traditions. Patty, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much, Kate. It doesn't feel like Christmas,
No,
does it?
it doesn't.
No, it
That's
doesn't.
why we need you here to help us.
And that's why we don't have Christmas on the outside. We need to have Christmas on the inside.
Definitely.
So I have a few things here to talk about that we can discuss. First of all, as everybody can see, we like penguins in my family, and we have a lot of different penguin things that we have, coffee and tea and napkin holders and that.
And some of my favorite candies, the peanut butter cups.
Yes, oh yes.
Down with that.
So they're penguins. But one of the things people often tell me is they'd like to make Christmas cookies, but they don't have the time, they don't know what to make, they're difficult and they're challenging. So I want to take all that off the table and introduce the easiest, quickest cookie that you can make that people will love. They will be the first to disappear on a cookie platter, and why not make them? And I thought maybe, Kate, you can make them for us today.
I'll try it. I will. I'll try it. I'm excited. Just tell me what to do.
They're these cookies, first of all. They're the chocolate crunch cookies.
They look great.
And we're going to make those. So basically, it's really mostly just 2 ingredients.
Wow.
And the ingredients are cornflakes, which these are just regular cornflakes, and melted chocolate. And we use 3 different kinds of chocolate, some semi-sweet, some milk chocolate, and some unsweetened chocolate. And so because we have a microwave here, I was able to microwave the chocolate. And that's all you have to do is you melt your chocolate, you pour it in the cornflakes, so I'll let you do that.
Sure.
And
now, do you just kind of drizzle it over? You try to make it even, or
no,
what do you
actually,
do?
when I make these at home, and we'll just pour it out. When I make these at home, this makes the recipe, and I do believe we have the recipe here as well for these. It takes 10 cups of cornflakes. I just make them in the pan and melt the chocolate in a large pan, and I just completely just put the cornflakes in, stir them up, and then there are no baked cookie. So we're going to, there you go. Oh, you're doing a good job here with that.
I'm an
chocolate.
expert.
Yeah, and that's I think that's probably going to be plenty of chocolate. So we can just dispose of this here.
Okay.
And you want to stir that up, just so you're going to just stir the chocolate in with the cornflakes.
There you go.
Great, and we'll just keep this down
So
here.
just stir it in?
Yep, just stir them up gently. Fold
Gently, okay.
Fold, so you're just folding chocolate into. Now at home, this is my pan for these cookies. And the chocolate comes up to maybe here, very little, and the cornflakes come up to about here, almost the top.
Yeah, because this might only feed like one hungry person.
Right. And you just have to keep stirring and stirring. So you melt your chocolates, 3 different kinds of chocolates, you melt them in here, you add your cornflakes, you stir them up, and you're doing pretty good until there's no more brown, and it just takes a couple minutes, and then you're just going to use some spoons, and we're going to put them on some parchment and let them cool. Wow. And that's that simple.
That really is the easiest
That's it.
cookie.
Now, I went to a Christmas party last year, hosted by Richard Skipper. He's a Broadway entertainer, and it was a wonderful party. And I put this on a table that was full of desserts, these chocolate crunch cookies. These were the first to go. Once word got out, you have to try these. That they were the first things to go. So these are the ones that I always tell people, make these, serve them. People will not know what's in them. They will think there's all different kinds of things in them. There isn't, but they are. Okay, so now you're done with that.
Yes.
So take your spoon, and you're going to just, I'll show you one.
Sure.
You take some, you make these as big as you want, because they don't go in the oven, and you just, with the other spoon, there you go. So I'll let you do that, and they're going to just, room temperature, do not chill them. Just put them at room temperature, and let them sit. And it will take, you will get, if you make them this size, you'll get about 6.5 dozen cookies. You'll get a ton. And I use every pan I have in my house for them to cool them. There you go. See how easy they are? And that's it. And then when they sit and then when they firm up, there you go, chocolate crunch cookies.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to a cookie holiday baking on Sunday. Maybe I should do these.
Well,
There's also, let me try them. There's also something wonderfully light seeming about them.
Yes, they are. And that's why I said, when people eat them, they can't tell what's in them.
Really good. We're
like
going to feed
them?
these
Good.
to the rest of
Yes, I think
the crew when we can.
The
They're
crew here is going to
delicious.
be very happy today. I hope they
Definitely.
will be. So that's our chocolate crunch cookies.
Yes, and you brought another cookie already made. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
For those that maybe don't like chocolate, there's a few of them out there. And like cranberry, these are just a very simple cranberry bar recipe. They're called white chocolate cranberry bars. And you make them in a pan. And it's just, basically, flour, eggs, some vanilla, some fresh chopped cranberries, some walnuts, some white chocolate chips, and you bake them in a pan, then you can cut them up. And what I like about bar cookies is, again, simplicity. You don't have to, have the oven going forever. You don't have to have trays and trays of cookies where you can burn some. These are simple. You make them in one pan. They're done. They cool. You cut them. There you go.
Wow.
Your cookies are there. So I made some of these too. They're white chocolate. They're a little alternative. They're nice. They have the fruit in them. They have the cranberries and fresh cranberries.
So does your family expect the same cookies every year you have to keep, or do you try to mix things up, or they have to make them happy?
I'll be honest. It's some of both. We have some traditional ones like these, and I make some chocolate almond lace cookies. They're very labor intensive. So I didn't bring those here today for you. But then they always like a surprise. So every year I do try to make something new, something exciting, something fun. Sometimes they're a hit, sometimes they're a miss, but usually they're pretty fun. Last year I made space dust cookies. And they are like a white cookie. They have an almond in the middle, and they're just a basically white butter type cookie with confectioner sugar. So they look like space dust. So that was my cookie last year. So I still haven't thought about what I'm going to make this year different, but it will be something. I always do that.
And now, speaking of family, I'm going to duck under and just grab one of the gifts that you're getting for a family member that I love so much.
Okay, yes. Now,
this is cool.
This is my son. I hope my son isn't watching. Kevin, I hope you're not watching, because you're getting this for Christmas. It's a make-your-own jerky kit, make-your-own beef jerky. And it has everything in here. I mean, we can probably open it.
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck? Kevin's probably not watching.
Let's use it, too.
Yeah. Your instructions on how to make beef jerky. 2 racks, you put the meat in, and then you put them on top. These on top, and seasoning. Of course, you season your beef with that. And then it even comes with a stopper to keep your oven door open, because you cook this at a very low temperature, like 200 degrees, for a few hours with the oven door actually opened, and you get beef jerky. And this came from Fleischer's Craft Butchery in Westport. And I'm also giving my son a gift certificate to get the meat there, and they will slice it how it should be sliced for jerky. So that's
and when you said jerky making, I thought something so complicated. It's really just a few pieces.
You do it in your own oven, and I think I like that idea. You don't have to buy a special contraption or machine. You can just make this yourself. So I think that's going to be fun.
That is
so
very cool.
Hopefully
He's going to
like
love that.
Hopefully
I'm sure
he will like that. My tradition in my family is we don't have dinner at my house. We go to my sister-in-law, Diane. She hosts a wonderful Christmas dinner every year. But we have breakfast. That's our big thing.
Right.
We do the big Christmas breakfast. So that's what I'm doing at my house this year. We do croissants, as you can see. We have croissants, baked apple pancake, which rises up really high. I always have fresh fruit. Crepes, my son's favorite, again, is crepes, so I always have crepes. And of course, I always like to have a little bit of the bubbly. I have to admit, it's the one thing I love. And I love especially a nice pink champagne. So this summer, I happen to be in Virginia, in the Roanoke, Virginia area, visiting Lorraine and Jurgen Fleck, who were wonderful to us, wonderful hosts. And we went to Monticello, my husband and I, Thomas Jefferson's place. Right near Monticello is, can you believe it, the Trump Winery.
Wow. Timely, Patty.
Who knew Donald Trump had a winery?
In the wine business, too.
I didn't know, but they do. Charlottesville, Virginia, Trump Winery. My husband was not enthused. My husband said we could skip that visit. But because I'm a pop culturist, I said no, I wanted to go to the Trump Winery. Right. And we did. And 2.5 minutes, that's all we spent there. I walked in, took 2 samples of their champagne. They only make champagne there. Absolutely delicious. It was so good.
Really?
So I bought a bottle for us to have for Christmas. Nice rosé champagne.
Nice.
So,
Now, I have to ask, some people mix it with juices. Do you just serve it as is, or do you try to mix it up?
I like it like this, but I will
too.
tell other people like Prosecco or champagne with a little bit of cranberry juice, or of course mimosas with orange juice. But I like it just straight up. I'm happy with that. So So we'll be drinking this Christmas as well. I thought when I saw this, I thought it was perfect. So another thing that we do at our breakfast table is I put out, my kids not so hot about it every year, but I've done it, little for every place, a little, I take recycled Christmas cards by cutting them into strips.
Great idea.
And then on the back, I put someone's name. This one says Kate.
For me.
Yes, this one says Kate. And then it just goes right in this little ornament. We'll just fit that in here.
Oh, that is
and
such
then
a
this
great
would go
idea.
Right on. There's my table every year, and you can see
such a simple and great idea. Wow.
And that will be right on your table, and that will tell you where to sit. Now, the kids complained so much about this every year that instead of putting everybody's name on these, one year I put the 7 dwarfs' names on there. Like I put Sneezy, Grumpy, and of course I think
Did they choose which they were?
Yeah, I think I somehow ended up with Grumpy. I mean, come on, I should have been happy, But we have fun with this.
I just love that simple and great idea. That's incredible.
And that's a lot of fun too. So again, I like to have fun at the Christmas breakfast. That's our thing.
And you were talking a lot about homemade gifts and things that you like to do, which I think is great.
Yeah.
What are some of the gifts that you like to give some of the special people in your life?
Well, what I like to do is I do not like to spend a lot of money on things. I guess I'm a Yankee at heart in some ways. But I like to give a lot of gifts. So what I like to do is make things for people. For example, this summer, tomatoes were doing really well.
Yes.
So I made a little present for you.
Yay! So excited.
And with my tomatoes from my garden, and I also had some heirloom tomatoes from a neighbor.
I can get it out of the bag. There, we got it. Ooh, tomato jam.
Some tomato jam. And that's what we use this on grilled cheese. I make grilled cheeses and I use a little smear of that. It can go on a bagel. You can use it to glaze chicken. You could use it to glaze meatballs. Tomato jam has 1,001 uses.
Yeah.
And what's nice about it is it doesn't cost a lot. People appreciate it. It's not something they're going to get anywhere else. And it's special.
That is really, I love those thoughtful gifts.
I make a lot of these, and that's what I tend to give out.
I love that. When I went to Spain on a trip once, they served an appetizer that was just toasted bread with like a tomato jam on top of it.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So maybe I'll try that. I can bring
go.
a little bit of Europe to my home.
And then another thing that you can do is you can get these boxes at the Christmas tree shop. And they're not expensive, but they're really
probably
pretty.
Be on sale too.
Yes, they are. I bet they are now. They're really pretty, these pretty boxes. So what I do again is I might take some homemade cookies and just put them in a baggie because you don't want the glitter to get on them to protect them. Some homemade cookies right in here. And you can give this, and let me tell you, Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's all about tradition. But traditions come, they go, they change. People come, they go, they change. So I always say, start something new. If you're bored, if you have the blues over the holidays, do something like this. Make a batch of these cookies. Put them in some of these boxes. Go around to people that you know or don't know or haven't seen in a long time, your neighbors, an elderly neighbor or an elderly friend. Give them to them. You're going to get so much joy and satisfaction out of giving something. It will lighten you up and make you feel good, and it will get you in this Christmas spirit, even if there is no snow.
I totally agree, Patty. That is a great tip. And I mean, we were talking a little bit about traditions. What's your favorite holiday tradition?
Oh, boy. Oh, well, every year when my son was little, we used to surprise him with his big present. Like one year we got him a bike, one year we got him a sled, but we would hide it. So we would say, can you take out the trash? And so the presents would all be open. Oh, all right, I'll take out the trash. And he would take out the trash, open the garage door, and there was his bike.
Oh, I love that.
And we did things like that. And could you go out feed the birds? He went out and feed the birds, and under the bird feeder, there was his sled. Well, one year, we did that for a number of years, and it was really funny, especially when the hermit crabs, when I asked him to go get the orange juice, and there he went in, and they're the hermit crabs. Okay, so he wanted to get back and do something to my daughter Katie, and he wanted to do something for her. So the movie Titanic was out, and she loved Titanic.
Who didn't?
Right, she loved it. So the video came out, and that's all she wanted for Christmas, the Titanic video. Okay, I bought it, but Kevin had a better idea. There was also a documentary called Raising the Titanic. So we bought the Raising the Titanic. We took the Titanic, it was his idea, take the tape out, the real movie, hit the fake one in, switch them, and we put some shrink wrap on it, used a blow dried it. Gave it to my daughter for Christmas. The first thing she said, "Can I watch Titanic?" "Sure, Katie, go ahead." She put it in, and when it started the documentary, her face, no,
that is so
it's the wrong movie.
funny.
And my son's fits of laughter. It was finally the revenge for all those years where he had to go scrounging and finding his present, and now he pulled one on his sister. So I think that is our spirit of our holiday.
Having fun with it.
Having fun. Just do something fun, silly. Don't take it so seriously, and just have fun with it. One thing I wanted to share with you.
These look delicious.
Is these extremely, and again, I'm not the kind of person that just would bring in a dish of nuts. There has to be a reason or something special about them. I want you to try one. While you're eating them, I'll tell you where I got them. There's a retired economics professor. Yeah, it has that quality.
Really good.
At Hollins College down in Roanoke, where we went this summer, and while we were visiting him, Jürgen Fleck and his wife Lorraine, they hosted us, and they were wonderful to us. And they took us to a farmer's market, and they had these wonderful packages of these homemade cinnamon pecans. And they were so good. They only use healthy products and healthy foods, and then this isn't like a processed nut. They're so delicious. And what did I get in the mail the other day? I opened up, and there was a box of these from them. That, again, a special, unexpected gift that you just give somebody this bag of nuts, and that I'm like thinking that is a wonderful thing. They were so nice to do that and send that. So those are the kind of things that I really find and really special.
And now all of us want to come for breakfast.
You know,
you said you posted some pictures of your breakfast, and a lot of people now are trying to get invites.
I did. I posted.
You might need a bigger table.
I posted some pictures online on the Weston Forum's website. And I cannot believe people saying they want to come to breakfast. And you know what? I think I just might ask them to come. Because, again, some people can't come this year. And why not have some new people come by for breakfast? And it's breakfast, so it doesn't interfere with the rest of your day.
Exactly.
So I think I just might
be on the lookout for those invites, everyone.
You know what? If people want to come and people want to eat and people know what I'm going to serve and like it, I'm happy to have them.
I love that. Well, Patty Gay, thank you so much. This has been amazing. You always have the best ideas, the best recipes. We love having you on.
Oh, thank you.
So we got to get you back, but we really appreciate it. I know you're busy with the Weston Forum, too, so you could read Patty's work, of course, at thewestonforum.com. But thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
And Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Patty. Well, that's going to do it for this special edition of Your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. Have a great weekend, everyone, and of course, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, family, Mom.